right, what's up? Good morning, PT on Ice Daily Show. Sorry, Facebook's having some tech issues, so we're trying this on a different platform. Hopefully it carries through. But either way, happy Leadership Thursday. I am Dr. Jeff Moore, currently serving as the CEO of ICE and serving in the lumbar and cervical divisions for faculty for courses. And it is Gut Check Thursday, Leadership Thursday. Certainly my favorite day of the week. Gut Check Thursday, always a pleasure. We are going to be in support this week of the Fittest Physio competition from the Vertex crew. So our Gut Check Thursday is going to be event number 3, and it's a grinder. We've got a 2-mile bike, we've got a 3K row, and then we've got a 2-mile bike. All right, so anybody willing to deal with that grind, we'd love to meet you out there. I hope a lot of you are in the Fittest Physio competition. You might be able to still jump in. The idea is you've got to finish those 5 events by Monday at 5 p.m. So if you haven't jumped in, maybe reach out to the Vertex folks and see if you can throw in a submission. As far as courses coming up, got a bunch of stuff. We've got Alan and Mitch coming out here to my backyard this weekend for CMFA Live. So we'll be here at CrossFit Endure. Clancy Brown's going to join us for that as well. And then we've got a couple online courses starting March 14th. So this weekend, CMFA Pregnancy and Postpartum fires up. So if you want to work with guiding moms back to health and back to exercise and back to fitness following pregnancy, please jump into that course. Kelsey and Christina do a wonderful job with that online class. And then persistent pain comprehensive management starting up this weekend with Justin Dunaway as well. So a lot of good stuff coming down the pipe. But today it's Leadership Thursday, and we are going to talk about how losing is the secret to winning. Now, many folks are aware of kind of the struggle with the switch, right? Meaning that you work so hard to sort of move up, right? In your division, in your company, in your community, you work so hard to move up. And oftentimes working so hard does mean trying to outcompete those who are around you, right? In order to rise. It's a natural part of the progression. But oddly enough, once you get there, right? Once you get bumped into that key leadership role, once you get up into that position, your focus needs to switch, right? Because your success as a leader at that point is largely determined by your ability to celebrate the success of those around you, right? Not so much to be focused on your individual success, but to recognize the success of your team. Which, if you have read Brene Brown's awesome book, Daring to Lead, I'm going to write a review on that either this week or next week. I just finished it up a couple of days ago, but she talks about, going from collecting gold stars to giving gold stars, right? So making that switch. And that is hard. I mean, for a lot of high-performing people who have always focused on achieving, right, and noting whether or not they were winning or losing, it's very hard to make that switch from now the focus needs to be on everybody else's accomplishments. But it's actually even harder than that, because when I hear folks bring this topic up, they almost speak of it as though you just shift the light, right, from yourself to other people, which can be challenging in and of itself. But it's actually more challenging than that, because you are usually involved in that achievement. Okay, meaning that the individual whose achievement you are acknowledging, right, who you are turning to limelight away from you onto them, right, you are usually acknowledging that their idea or their plan was better than yours. You're involved, right, because it's not like you get bumped up the leadership rung and then all of a sudden you're totally disconnected from what's going on. You are still in the trenches with these people. You still have an opinion. You threw something in the hat or in the ring, and ultimately the ability for you to acknowledge somebody else's excellence also requires in part to admit that their plan, their idea, their strategy was better than yours, which from an ego perspective for a lot of people can be a real battle. And I want to offer a quote that I think everybody needs to embrace who is struggling with that, and that is the infamous one by Steve Jobs. That quote, "It doesn't make sense to hire smart people and then tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do." That needs to be embodied, right? Because then you begin seeking these opinions. You realize that you are bringing people on your team who are better than you in their selective niche. They are supposed to outperform you, which makes it really easy to concede to them in their areas to recognize their excellence. You got to realize that being told what to do as a leader being told what to do, right, losing arguments regularly is not a sign of moving backwards. It's a sign that you hired the right people. Think about that. Let that simmer, because the embracing of that allows you to not only seek out or recognize the opinions of your team, but to desire them, to want to lose because you know somebody else's idea was that good. There's a really key cultural component to this discussion, and that is that when your team knows that you are open to conceding to a better plan that is brought up, they will offer them. When your team just thinks that at day's end, you're really just pretending to hear people out, but ultimately you're going to do whatever you think is best, smart people will not waste their time and energy on bringing their ideas into the fold if they know that's going to be the ultimate outcome. As much as anything, this probably separates great teams from mediocre ones, because when you stifle excellent people, when you get them saying things like, well, it doesn't matter what I say, he or she is going to do whatever they want, understand that your collective excellence is tanking at that point. But when those people know that you are actually listening, that you are evaluating in real time, and you are simply going to go with the best option, regardless of who brought that to the table, that your focus is on excellence, they are going to bring excellence to the table day in and day out. That's what builds great culture. But to build it, you have to regularly be willing to concede. You have to regularly be willing to lose, right? Because by doing so, it fosters that environment. Now, zoom out a little bit. Move away from thinking about building great teams and just think about yourself individually, right? Think about your personal growth and your willingness to learn or to maximize your learning, okay? Ask yourself the hard question this morning of, are you willing to lose on the regular? I don't think most people are. So ask yourself, are you willing to lose on the regular? When you're in heated discussions, heated emotional debates, political ones, philosophical ones, when you're in these discussions, are you willing, open, and maybe at the highest level, even excited to lose that argument? I say excited because those that are true learners have realized the one thing that very few people do in their lives, and that is that the winner doesn't learn. The winner doesn't learn. If you walk away having won, it means that you did not learn of a better opinion, of a better strategy, because you're still going with the one you walked into the discussion with. It's the person that is willing to say, you got me. You got me. Right? I came in hot to this argument. I really thought I had the goods. But boy, now that you've shown me that point of view, you're right. Collectively, that strategy makes a lot more sense. In other words, I've lost the argument, but I've won the learning moment. I am walking away with a better idea than the one that I walked in with. That is lifelong learning. And it is 100% dictated on your willingness in the emotional moment to concede, to say you got me. Because if you don't have that willingness, all you're doing is trying to make it look like you're winning every time. You're not actually listening to the information being presented and trying to figure out what the overall collective best idea is. You're trying to get other people to see that your idea is the best. And you will never learn that way. By definition, you'll never learn that way. Because if you're always going to walk out with your own idea, the one you walked in with, because you're not willing to say somebody else's is better, you have literally erased your ability to learn. Self-reflect on this morning. How willing are you in the heat of an intense debate to concede? How open are you in the moment to say, you know what, that's better. That's undeniably better, right? I wasn't looking at it that way. I didn't have that information. I didn't have that relevant experience. But boy, now that you've laid it out, strong work, that's better. Let's move forward. How comfortable does that feel to you? The more comfortable you get with that, the more comfortable that you get with the fact that you understand losing is learning, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit for you as an individual. The sky is the limit for everybody that surrounds you and where you are in your leadership role. I hope you appreciate that we don't see much of this, that it's a rare quality, and rare is almost always valuable. Watch social media and tell me how open those people really are that you're engaging with to simply hashing out the best idea regardless of origin. I think we all agree in many cases, unfortunately, ego is driving the bus and winning at all costs is the strategy. What if learning at all costs became the strategy? Think of where we'd be collectively. Think of where you'd be individually. I would love to hear from you. Hit me up with some emails. Hit me up on social media. As always, ptonice.com. Sorry about the audio issues earlier. Hopefully this one came through okay. I'm really excited to share the topic. So thanks for being here. Everybody go enjoy your Thursday. Stay safe out there. Have an awesome end of your week.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.